You know, if you would have told me this stuff a few years ago, I don't know what I'd have thought. To be honest with you, I knew things were bad in this country. I've been trying to tell everybody for over 20 years. But, I mean, really? It's come to this. I don't know that you hear what this woman said.
The California lawmakers just passed a law. It hasn't been signed by Governor Newsom, but giving government assistance to undocumented immigrants to buy houses.
Immigration had always been a bipartisan issue. I refer you to
But not free houses.
Well, that's not free housing. It's the American dream being available to more people. But California's always in the lead. Maybe others will follow that lead, but that's up to those states. Making the American dream of home ownership available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before your resident. This is undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented.
How about that? She said the quiet part out loud. Remember, Kamala wanted to make sure everybody was able to get $25,000 for a home guarantee. Who do you think they were guaranteeing those homes for? Their new voting base. That's it. They want to give 20 million people amnesty and give them a federal subsidy of $25,000 apiece for first-time house buyers. California is going to give them $150,000. They recently passed a law saying that the colleges have to hire illegal immigrants. That's illegal. They just passed a law saying they have to break the law. How much of this are y'all willing to put up with? I mean, are there really people, American citizens, that are okay with this? When your own children, your own brothers and sisters can't be a first-time home buyer. The dream of owning a home is out of reach for them. And we have so many homeless veterans that don't get no $150, don't even get $25,000 toward the price of a home. But yet they're going to bring these people in all over the world, unvetted. Most of them, just like Trump says, they're right out of the mental institutions and prison. I'm going to go you one better than that. Do you know that the ATF is going to gun stores and telling them they have to sell these people guns? Yeah. Sell them guns when you can't do a background check on them. You go try to buy a gun and see, don't you get a background check done on you? But they're telling them they got to sell these people guns and they can't do a background check on them. People. The whole world's going crazy. The whole world's just gone crazy. And here's what they're going to do with him.
And new at 10, it's scenes coming out of a movie as the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua are seen breaking into apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado. This is according to our sister station in Denver. There you can see the group well armed and forcing an apartment door open and making their way in. This has raised concerns amongst residents and Colorado state law enforcement officials. The city of Aurora is issuing a statement today in the wake of national attention following the video's release. As we've reported in the past, Tren de Aragua is
You know, the governor has come out and said that this is just a figment of everybody's imagination. But this ain't really happening. This is just talking points to help these slumlords not get in trouble. They've got it on video. Come on. They call the police. The police don't respond. to make matters worse, take a little look at this. Here's what else they're up to.
A group of migrants tried to board a school bus this morning while it was traveling to a school. The superintendent for the Humul del Zura Union School District informed parents of that incident earlier today. It happened at one of the stops on the school district's bus route that heads to Oak Grove Middle School and Humul Primary. Meanwhile, yesterday afternoon, in a similar area along another route, the superintendent says that a group of migrants tried to stop another bus. Border Patrol, CHP, and the Sheriff's Office have now been informed of these incidents. The superintendent says that for the safety of everyone, if a driver sees a group of migrants at a bus stop, they will drive past it and move on to the next.
Isn't that just wonderful? They're going to drive on past them, right? What do you think would happen if you were to get a few of your friends and get together with assault weapons like that and go to a local apartment complex and just start going around and kicking people's door in and telling them, I don't care if you paid the landlord rent, you're going to pay me rent, or you're going to get out, and put a gun in their face? What do you think would happen? How long do you think it would take for a SWAT team to get there? They didn't know SWAT team come for these people, did they? Because they've been told to stand down. And the cops that would try to respond, no, they're not going to get any backup. And if they go out there and shoot some of them people, they're going to get charged with murder. And they're going to be the new, what was that dude's name? Derek Chauvin. And go to prison. Because them cats will shoot back. To top it off, the ATF's going around to gun stores telling them gun store owners, you're going to sell them people guns. Yeah, you're going to sell them guns. I don't care if you can't do a background check on them because they don't have no ID. They're here now. You're going to learn to deal with it, and you're going to sell them guns. Don't matter if they just come out of a mental institution, criminally insane, or out of prison, or whatever, and they got tattoos all over their face. You're going to sell them a gun. And you may ask yourself, why would they do that? Why would they do that? I think I got some insight on it.
Joining us now is Dean Erwin Chemerinsky. His new book is titled No Democracy Lasts Forever: How the Constitution Threatens the United States. Dean Chemerinsky, thanks for being with us this morning. So how, in your view, does the Constitution that this country was built on and has been for nearly 250 years is a threat, actually, to the country?
Choices that were made in adopting the Constitution have come to haunt us. The Electoral College increasingly is choosing the president who lost the popular vote. 2 senators per state is undermining democracy. In the last session of Congress, there were 50 Democratic senators and 50 Republican senators, but the 50 Democratic senators represented 42 million people. Life tenure for Supreme Court justices is increasingly problematic. For much of American history, the tenure for Supreme Court justice was an average of 15 years. All of these are choices made in 1787, but they become much more salient in recent years.
Professor Chemerinsky, I understand, this is Gene Robinson, I understand that there are lots of outdated pieces of the Constitution. There's also some really good stuff. I think it is probably true that the founders would be astonished that we haven't altered the Constitution to fit our present circumstances. On the other hand, though, in the real world, wouldn't it be madness to try to change the Constitution at this point when the country is so polarized, so angry, and so unable to agree on anything? All those foundational principles, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom, our freedoms, would be in jeopardy, it seems to me.
You know the one freedom he didn't mention there? The freedom to keep and bear arms. How about that? They're saying it's okay that they got to sell these people guns and let them go do that, and then they won't go arrest them. How about that? You think there may be a coincidence here? You think these two things may, just maybe, are linked? Why do you think they want us disarmed? Now, this is the dean of one of the most prestigious law schools in this country. And if you think he's alone in this, you are sadly mistaken. You're sadly mistaken. The deans of places like Georgetown and even Harvard have said the same thing. They were trying to convince conservatives just 7-8 years ago that we needed a new constitutional convention. No, sir. We don't need a new constitutional convention. We need to enforce the Constitution that we have. I'm going to tell you a little piece of information. And I'm not going to tell you where because I want you to look it up for yourself. But it's in our Constitution. You know what it says about when people come into our country that aren't citizens and they have a baby? You think it says that that baby automatically gets citizenship? Nope. That's not what it says. It says the state of the child shall follow the state of the parents. There was an executive order written, and they just started giving citizenship to any babies born here like they're Americans. They're not. All it would take is an executive order to overturn that. Of course, we'd have to fight it out through the courts because they'd sue to try to stop it. But the Constitution is clear. These people are trying to overthrow everything that you know. They are openly trying to replace their voter base with people that they're paying to vote the way they want them to vote. They can come in here and just strong arm anybody, do whatever they want. You notice they didn't do that in Texas. You notice they didn't do that in Louisiana, or Alabama, or Georgia, or Florida, because they know what would happen. They go to these places, these soft liberal cities, where people will just stand by and go, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I tell you what y'all better do. Y'all better, in every one of these blue states, make a tsunami of people and go vote and put a stop to this before you're dead in a ditch somewhere. And or better yet, just don't. Just don't. Let them do whatever they want to. I guess, you think that they won't do it? Well, I think they've showed you they will. Do you honestly think that any of them people up there in the government gives a damn what happens to you or your kids? I can promise you they don't. They kill millions of babies a year, just right in their mother's womb. They allow poison that they know is poison to be put in our food and to be put in our medicine. They don't give a damn about you. All they care about is power. Raw, naked power. And if y'all don't wake up to this, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Obama overturned the Smith-Mundt Act in his last term as president. That was the thing that stopped the American government from co-opting the media and paying them to propagandize American citizens. Then he put over $1 billion into the hands of the State Department to combat disinformation and foreign interference, and without any proof declared the man that won the election a Russian agent. I don't know how much you people know about this, but I want you to look into something. It is literally the job of the military, if they were to know that a person that was a foreign agent had been infiltrated into the highest levels of our government, that they're not supposed to arrest them. They're supposed to assassinate them. That's what they were calling for when they were wringing their hands saying Trump's a Russian agent. And they've been propagandizing all of us ever since. Can't you see it? They've literally taken off the glove now, and all you're getting is the iron fist. They're telling you to your face. They don't care. They don't care that you don't want them bringing all these migrants to your city. They don't care that you don't like it, that you ain't going to get Section 8 housing. You're not going to get any assistance. But oh, by the way, we're going to give this person $5,000 a week and $13,000 worth of food stamps. Oh, that's not good enough. We're going to give them $25,000 from the federal government to buy their first house. Or you can just come on to California and we'll give you $150,000. And how many people do you know in your city that got put out of that Section 8 housing so that these people can be put in it? How many houses do you think are going to get foreclosed on and sold to these people with your tax money? How many of you are going to have to take care of your elderly parents because they don't have no Social Security or no Medicare because they're giving it to them? If you can't see this by now, I just don't know what to tell you. Pray about it. Pray about it, that God gives you some discernment, because I just don't know what to say at this point. It's getting to the point where it's hard to make videos. I can't say everything I'd like to say, or they'll take this channel down. Please, please, wake up. God help us all. I'll tell you what. I know most of the people watching this already know most of what I'm telling you. And I appreciate everybody that watches. I beg of you, share this with people in your family that don't see it. Share it with these people in these blue states. We've got to do something. And pray. And I mean pray that God has mercy on us. We've got time to stop this, but we've got to stop this. Good night, and God bless.